Hello everyone, welcome to the course on Introduction to Electric and Hybrid Electric Vehicles. So dear learners, in the previous lecture we have discussed about the involvement of AI or the application of AI in electric mobility. Now in today's lecture we are going to discuss the business opportunities in the field of EV infrastructure. So dear learners, let's start the lecture. So there are primary three areas where your business can invest and build offerings around electric mobility. Therefore, the value wheel consists of three major areas. First one is mobility, second one is infrastructure, and third one is energy. So let us discuss about mobility. So mobility is the segment where the actual increase of electric vehicles on the road will take place. Your business in mobility will focus on business models that use electric vehicles to provide services to the customers. It will focus on value addition to the customers using electric vehicles. The business in mobility will focus on business models that use EVs to provide services to the customers. You can build your business around the fact that customers are rather interested in services that provide an alternative for owning a vehicle, but at the same time have all the facilities or luxury of vehicle ownership. So the new mobility models and services consists of the micromobility, ride hailing, car sharing, ride sharing or carpooling, car subscription, e-roaming or digital payment services. So let us start with micro mobility. So micro mobility is used for providing traveling services for short distances to one or two passengers at a time. It will enable passengers to usually cover the first or last mile of a journey. Electric bicycles and electric scooters are among the most popular choices in micromobility as they are easy to use and act as an alternative to public transport. Bike sharing is one of the most prominent business models across the world. Another model that is used is pick up and drop off at select locations. Some of the emerging micromobility companies in India are Bounce, Zip, Yulu and Vogo. In a country like ours where traffic density is very high, electric vehicle enabled micromobility is a promising business model as it will save substantial commuting time. Next one is ride hailing. You might have heard about Airbnb. The ride hailing business model works similar to Airbnb's model of creating a two-sided market that connects the end user with the service provider over a technology enabled platform. It will enable a customer to book a cab at his or her own convenience and provide a source of earning to drivers of private four-wheelers. For building this business model, you need to rely heavily on smartphone apps to enable the connection between customer and driver. You will essentially work as transportation network companies and function as a digital marketplace linking self-employed drivers with customers while collecting a fee for making the connection. Key examples of the same are Ola, Smart E and Blue Smart. Next one is car subscription. So you can offer your customers with an experience of a private vehicle and at a same time save them from paying the heavy upfront cost for owning the vehicle. You are offering customers a wide range of vehicle options suitable to their requirement with the flexibility of selecting desired period. Many OEMs such as Volvo, Porsche and BMW and other independent platform providers are introducing new subscription schemes to attract and encourage the customers to experience the personal mobility under car subscription. Some of the businesses operating in car subscription are Zoom Car, Drover, mills, clutch. E-roaming. So, e-roaming platform facilitates connect among several charging station operators. It also facilitates reciprocal billing. If you are a customer of one of the linked companies, you can charge your electric vehicles at a point operated by many other companies as well. It requires standard protocols and interfaces. E-roaming enables charging stations to enjoy improved capacity utilization and profitability, as the charging stations are available to both their own customers as well as to those of other providers. Various mobility services and providers such as car sharing, bike sharing, public transportation and parking facility management can also be connected using the e-roaming platform. While the companies such as eClearing.net, Hubject, Grieve, etc. are working in this space, there is no major player in India here. Thus, this might be an opportunity for you. Ride sharing. This business model enables you to provide a platform to private non-commercial vehicle owners to pool their ride with travelers having their destinations in the same route. Some of the global companies in ride sharing business are BlaBlaCar, S-Ride. Car sharing. Car sharing concept works similar to bike sharing, but it is preferred for longer distances. It is a short-term car rental hired on either hourly basis or per kilometer basis or hybrid of both. Car sharing can be a round trip, means your customer is required to return the vehicles to their original pickup stations after use. One way also, so in this your customer can pick up and park the vehicle at any authorized parking spot. Free floating, your customer locates the nearest available car using the mobile app, uses it and then drop off it at any location, or station based. So, in this your customer could pick up and return the vehicle at designated rental stations only. So, three types of business models can be used for car sharing. First one is business to consumer. So, in this you can offer individual consumers access to a fleet of vehicles through memberships, subscriptions, user fees or a combination of pricing models. Example of B2C is e-Sawari rentals. Business to business. So, if you opt for this business model, you will offer access to a fleet to employees of a company with which you have entered into a contract for a fixed period of time. Example, Lithium Urban. Next one is peer to peer. Here you provide a platform to people who can rent out their private car when they are not using it and thus lead to an additional revenue stream for vehicle owners. The example is DriveZ. Next is the payments services. So, for decades cash has been the traditional mode of payment, but India is increasingly moving towards digital mode of payments. Mobility services providers in general are tying up with payment gateways to offer hassle-free cashless services. Mobility service providers such as Ola have their own mobile wallet Ola Money. For electric vehicles, the payment services will be used predominantly for two purposes. First one is for utilizing electric vehicle mobility services from an operator and for charging electric vehicles. So, you can act as a payment service provider. So, in this we have this mobile banking, POS, credit or debit cards, mobile wallet, UPI payment, QR codes. So, these all are the payment methods through which we can use this cashless or digital mode of payment. Next is the infrastructure. So, dear learners, till now we have discussed about the mobility. Now, we will discuss about the infrastructure. So, the key barrier for large scale adoption of electric vehicles in India was lack of public charging infrastructure. Maybe in the previous lectures we have all discussed about the hindrances or the challenges and issues which are hindering the adoption of electric vehicles in India. So, in that the public charging infrastructure plays a major role, which is right now the main issue or the major issue, so that we are not going to adopt the EVs very faster rate, on a faster rate. So, thus India needs to have a robust backbone for charging infrastructure across the length and breadth of the country with considerations of traffic and population density. So, infrastructure segment includes charging infrastructure, battery swapping stations and businesses built on traction battery. So, first we will discuss about the EV charging infrastructure. So, the growth in electric vehicles led to the coming up of the charging businesses. International experience suggests that various stakeholders or institutions have engaged themselves in planning and development of electric vehicle charging infrastructure. Among all these players, you can make the most impact in developing and operating electric vehicle charging stations, either by being a charging infrastructure manufacturer or charging station operator. So, these all are the EV charging stations owners you can see in the figure. So, the charging infrastructure manufacturers. So, you can generate revenue by manufacturing and selling electric vehicle charging equipment. There can be two ways of providing electric vehicle infra hardware solutions. First, stand-alone delivery to install at home, workplace or for public charging, and second, in partnership with vehicle manufacturers offering the hardware as a part of the vehicle. You will essentially be providing a complete charging point solution for public and private charging and including the hardware and software installation. You will also provide services such as maintenance of the hardware as well as additional support services. Some of the major charging infrastructure manufacturers are Delta Electronics, Mastech, ABB India, Exicom, Okaya, RRT. Charging point operators. So, if you choose to become a charging point operator denoted as CPO, you will generate revenue by operating a network of chargers. The services you choose to provide will include electric vehicle charging, customer support, network solution, standalone or in partnership with a network service provider. You can choose among different pricing mechanisms such as time based fees, energy based fees, fixed fees, membership fees, etc. to charge electric vehicle users. Additionally, the Ministry of Power has stated electric vehicle charging as a service, which means that you do not require licensing under the Electricity Act 2003. Some of the companies working as CSO are EESL, Tata Power, Magenta Group, Fortum India, Voltic, Charge Zone, etc. Traction battery. Services in the battery segment can play a huge role in promoting uptake of electric vehicles, since batteries contribute 40% in overall cost of EV. Additionally, businesses delivering value in terms of reducing overall cost of electric vehicles also have a huge role to play. Potential services or processes related to battery that you can take up for business and help in reducing the overall cost of ownership for electric vehicle buyers are battery recycling. So, electric vehicle batteries are mostly made of lithium ion and consist of rare elements such as lithium, nickel and cobalt. As the electric vehicle industry grows, use of these rare elements is expected to increase, and With availability concentrated in a few countries only, supply chain issues might arise in the future. Thus, battery recycling would be the required way to go ahead. Recycling will reduce negative environmental impact as well as has the potential to reduce the overall cost of a battery and therefore electric vehicles. It makes use of a circular economy model so as to maximize asset utilization. One such company working actively in sustainable battery recycling is Gravita India. Next is battery subscription. Setting up a business in battery subscription means providing the customers with reduced upfront cost of electric vehicles and addressing the biggest concern most of the buyers have. In battery subscription, batteries are provided to vehicle operators on a subscription basis, charging for use on daily or per kilometer rates. Next is pay as you go, a type of billing in which the user pays, conducts the payment process directly before receiving a service. So, in this case the use of a charge point. Pay as you go is most common for spontaneous users since they do not have any long term contract with the charge point operator. However, pay as you go may also be used for those contract users who do not prefer direct payment over payment via invoice at a later time. Sun Mobility is the key player for the pay as you go business model. Next is battery as a service. So, this makes use of a circular economy model so as to maximize asset utilization and at the same time connects the transport and energy sector. Manufactured batteries, new or leased to end users such as vehicle owners, energy storage projects, etc. for usage. Once the battery reaches to near its end of life, the BAS service provider either refurbishes the batteries and make them suitable to be used in applications such as energy storage or behind the meter usage, or recycles the batteries by extracting the raw material from them to manufacture new batteries, with examples such as NIO BAAS across the globe and Sun Mobility and Asmito in India. You can become a leader in the country for battery as a service. So, dear learners, till now we have discussed about the mobility and infrastructure related business models. Now, the third part of the business model is in the sector of energy. So, let us discuss the opportunities and the business models which are related to energy. So, researchers show that a private vehicle stands idle for an estimated 95% of its lifetime. So, this shows that if you are owning a private vehicle, so it shows that it is standing idle at your home or in your office for most of the time, which is around about 95% of its lifetime. This very fact builds the premise for energy as a value area. Batteries in electric vehicles store electricity, and when not in use for commuting, electric vehicles owners can trade, sell, utilize the stored power and can earn additional revenues. So, this is the huge advantage of an electric vehicle, that you are having a source of power, a powerhouse which is having a very much large amount of power, like we have the batteries having capacity of 30 kilowatt hours, 40 kilowatt hours, 50 kilowatt hours. So, this is a huge amount of energy. So, the EV owners can be really benefited if they want to trade, sell or utilize this stored power when they are not commuting. So, additionally, electric vehicles can be charged from renewable energy sources and actually help in contributing to grid stability by storing wind power in night and solar power in day, and in turn help in proliferation of renewable energy and contribute to reducing greenhouse gas emissions. So, the renewable energy and electric vehicle charging system. So, we will discuss about the involvement of renewable energy into the EV charging infrastructure or the system. So, the combination of a solar panel system or wind energy system or both and electric vehicle charging station brings several benefits and provides a cost effective way to produce and make use of solar energy, wind energy or both. So, both type of renewable energies, which are the solar energy and wind energy, can be integrated to a EV charging station. So, you can provide the customer with the type of renewable energy panel system that can provide enough energy to fuel their electric car. Next is the storing excess energy. So, storage of renewable energy is necessary, otherwise the power produced must be consumed directly or fed into the public grid, otherwise it is lost. So, here it comes the concept of on grid and off grid. So, when we talk about this on grid solar panel, so in that case this renewable energy system is connected to the grid. So, in that particular case, whatever you are generating, maybe in the daytime we are generating from the solar and in the night time we are generating with the wind, it is directly fed to the grid. So, this type of system is called as on grid system. And when your source of generation is standalone, standalone means the system whenever you are using this solar or wind, it is not connected to the grid. So, whatever you are generating, either you are storing it or you are using it for the local usage. So, this type of system is called as off grid system. So, the thermal mass and water tanks are the two primary methods of storing solar energy in solar space heating systems. Wind turbines can use excess power to compress air. This is usually stored in large above ground tanks or in underground caverns. So, these are the particular two applications of the solar energy and the wind energy. Now, the equipments. So, in case of solar energy, solar inverters are an important piece of this puzzle. Before the generation